Do you ever start a job and then wish you hadn't? I was sorting out my scenics and accessories ready for doing a bit more on the layout, and I had to move a couple of carriages out of the box and thought, right, I'll stick them where they're meant to be. And then when I got there were some other carriages, and I was like, right, I'll put them with the rest of that rake. And then it spiralled, and now all of a sudden I'm organising all of my continental carriages, and I'm fed up. This is what I've done so far. So I thought I'd have a quick look through, make a quick video and show everyone what I've got. And a little bit about them, really. What I haven't done, I haven't included any of the EMUs or intermediate carriages that go with them. I've not included any four-wheel coaches because I've got quite a few of them as well. And this is just pretty much like standard mainline stock. So we'll start over here. Also, forgive the lighting, it's a very dull day today. I've got a couple of the double-deck sleeper carriages. Couple more SBB carriages, one Jouef, one Roco. A couple of the Marklin Trans-Euro Night carriages, obviously they've got DC wheel sets in. Some of the Lilliput SBB sleeper carriages with the Moon and Stars livery. Really big fan of that livery. Obviously it's a lot more pronounced on the Jouef carriage than it is on the Lilliput. Like I say, there's really poor lighting in here, so you can't really see. Up here I have my 7-coach long railjet. Obviously this is the Pico hobby line railjet rather than the detailed version, because I can't really afford that. Got some of the Pico OBB carriages in the current livery. 3 of them are out of the train set I bought, so obviously they don't have their own boxes. We've got one of the Klein Model Barn BMPZs, the multifunction second class carriage. Pico Liegewagen, which is that's the couchette, not the sleeper. You can just see the Liegewagen writing on the side. A couple of Flixtrain carriages. Now I've got a Flixtrain Taurus loco, which I've never actually had out of the box. I need to do that soon. But they're quite nice coaches. I love the livery on that. Very bright. Some of the Metronome coaches, the double decks. I've actually got one of the OBB double deck driving carriage bodies, which I want to convert one of them into at some point and then respray the whole rake into OBB livery. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to have the Metronome coaches. Italian sleeper, 2 Klein Model Barn carriages with some Roco carriages. Back up to the top we've got a Lilliput OBB sleeper carriage. Big fan of sleeper carriages, bring back a lot of memories. Rivarossi, Italian sleeper carriage, couple of OBB sleeper carriages, more Trans-Euro Night. Klein Model Barn driving carriage, a couple of the Roco local carriages. One of the Bogey goods vans, which I run with a lot of the local services as they did in the 90s and before. 3 of the Roco Hobbyline carriages, very good detail for the price. Another OBB Liegewagen in the slightly older livery. And these are a mix of Lilliput and Roco local carriages, which means I can run a couple of local services together, have a couple of rakes going at the same time. Back to the top, that is one of the SBB driving carriages, which I use with the electric Lima motor carriage that they produced. Can't remember the name of it, but I believe they're quite rare. I might actually repaint that and the motor carriage into that livery, which it currently carries. I like that, the nice blue with the very apparent yellow doors. Back up to the top we got a couple of the cheese coaches, a couple of restaurant carriages painted in cheese livery. I don't know much about the history of them, but I'll learn at some point. Le Buffet Swiss, Canada Land, Calendar Land, SBB carriage, I think that's a sleeper carriage, Roco intercity carriages, restaurant carriage, BLS coach, one random BLS coach, which I normally add on to the end of rakes. More SBB coaches, one of the kids' coaches there. That one is a Roco baggage car, that one's a Lilliput baggage car. A couple of the local carriages there. Another Markling carriage, which I've stuck DC wheel sets into. Down here we've got some Lima carriages, which I'll probably end up giving away because I'm not a big fan of them. Hardly any detail and they're slightly oversized for the type of carriage they're based on. Now, on to Germany, DB. Got quite a few of the Lima carriages. There's a Roco one mixed in there. Brake second. Small Lima. That's another Roco carriage. Now that one, that carriage there, that baggage car, is one of the Lima operating ones. So I need to find the bits to go with that at some point. It didn't come with them. Some Roco DB modern livery carriages. Driving trailer, which I need to glue a little bit back onto, but that's a nice one. Czech restaurant carriage. A couple of Lima carriages. We've got some Fleischmann local carriages. We've got the driving car. Now these are all illuminated inside. These are nice ones. A couple of Roco local coaches, more Lima, a couple of Fleischmann, and then I've got PKP, the Polish one. Just one of them, because that goes with a set that I haven't opened yet. So yeah, I can do loads of different combinations, like if I want to model like the 90s local services between Interlaken and Innsbruck and Seefeld or something like that. I've got all the OBB carriages, all the DB carriages, and I can run the mixed rakes and everything like that. If I want to model Lindau on Lake Constance, I've got SBB, I've got DB, I've got OBB, so I can model all the services, the international and the local ones. So I've got quite a good opportunity with the range I've got. Every now and then I'll see a bargain come up on eBay, and I'll be like, "Ooh, should I get that? That's great, that." I'm like, "Do I really need it? I think I've got enough." But then there are other services that you want to model, and you think, "Oh, I could just slot it in there, make it a bit longer, or add that," and it's, where do you stop? Because I've got a single track main line and 4 platforms in the station, and every time I want to change it over it means putting everything away, getting everything back out. Crazy. Where do you stop? Where do you stop? But I might rationalise. I might tell myself I can only buy new coaches if I get rid of some first. So we'll see how that goes. See if I stick to that. Alright, thank you very much. See you later.